strippers, I'm going to sit on your lap, but you can't touch me, and cats. Cats are like strippers, you can't touch them but they will show you their butthole. My cat lets me pet her, but she digs into and rips my clothing. With a stripper you normally have to pay extra for that. With a cat the payment is your furniture and food and shelter. So if you allow stripper to live in your house, she will tear your clothes? Oh boy, that is a yes. Story time? I had these nice leather couches before my wife and I decided to get 2 cats. I still have leather couches but they aren't nice. But they served their purpose and demonstrated to a woman that I had more than a futon on the floor of my bachelor pad, so no probs. The cats are very cute. Just shave your cat and you have a business plan. And finally someone with a clear purpose. What have I done? Meow. I'm not really feline your pun there. They did their best to be clever, all of you. Get out points at Dornell. That was a poor effort. I don't get it, you weren't at my bachelor party. Plot twist, in a pet cafe where you had to pay the cats extra. Get an old blanket and use that as a buffer between you and the claws. What if I tie hands and legs of cat before petting them? Good luck buddy. Film it and send it to me. I don't have a cat. That's why I am asking on the interwebs. Attempt to tie a cat's legs together and you will get torn apart. Mouch. Good one. Asking for a friend, that's how you end up on liveleak.com. Don't fuck with cats. Fuck, I love my cats to death. But the amount of shirts I had to throw out after 2 uses because my cats decided that it needs more holes is too infuriating. Most house cats can get used to get her claws trimmed. My cat loved to make cookies on me. If I don't trim, I would be in so much pain. You can ask your vet to show you how next checkup. Why? Listen, you butt luster, I lust butts and I cannot lie, and just like that, he has gone. There are no accidents. My dog doesn't he like to be pet and is very vocal about it. But he likes to sniff, touch, lick and maybe even climb onto your lap. You still can't touch him. We call it the stripper rule. Now I wonder if he has a cat. Lol, 3 hours ago. More like I'll sit on your face till you any food. I have the weirdest boner right now. A cat can't slob your knob. Fuck that weird shit. This, what do you mean you can't touch them? I touch cat buttholes all day. Yummy yummy. Who broke you? How can I delete someone else's comment? Cats are like dividend stocks. You could live off of them and not have to work a day in your life, but it costs $1.5 million for a lifetime of a healthy monthly wage. Bad analogy, but at least you know how much money you need to live off of investing. I've never run into a stripper that didn't let me touch her. Rules were meant to be broken sometimes. Strippers are like dogs, they are laying on their back with legs spread, but you can't fuck them. Either you're going to the wrong strip clubs or I am. Your urologist will make the distinction clear because they visit the same strip club. I know a lot of kids are brought up being taught that you can get an STD very easily to deter kids from having any sexual experiences and staying abstinent, but it's actually not common to get a sexually transmitted disease from touching a woman's boob, fingering her or having sex with a condom on. It mostly depends on your attitude, look and how much money you are spending. Higher-end strip clubs don't let you touch. Strip clubs in poorer areas will let you do anything to them to get every last dollar out of you. Edit. I live in the downtown LA area, so clearly my knowledge on strip clubs around the world is pretty limited, but so far anywhere that I've been that charges more than $30 at the door usually has a no touchy rule. Higher end strip clubs don't let you touch. I've got plenty of examples where that isn't true. Even at the clubs you're not allowed to touch, they let you touch. Their big sign on the wall at one I went to says no touching strippers, no full nudity, and girls can only have their breasts exposed while dancing on stage. You look over and some chick is twerking in front of a guy fully naked and he's slapping her ass, and multiple girls with their tits out walking around talking to guys and sitting on their laps. Those signs are up so we get the choice in the end. Cheap, smelly, aggressive or grabby guys equals we point to the sign. Guys who we can possibly get more money off and don't repulse us equals we can relax the rules. Depends on country and personal hustle stance, but all in all YMMV to the guy sitting right next to you. Okay, what does YMMV mean? Trying to work it out but not come up with anything that sounds right. Your mileage may vary, of course. I have heard that before, but somehow I was miles off. Thank you. There are so many sex workers in Reddit. I've had friends take me to a strip club a few times, but I never understood their purpose. Is the purpose to watch naked sexy girls and go home and jack off? If you're that horny, isn't just simpler to find a prostitute, or cam girls as the kids do nowadays. Not that I'm condoning either of them. It's the difference between going to the movies to see the newest superhero movie versus going to the theater to see a ballet. Insert nutcracker joke here. It's like going to a fancy restaurant, reading the menu, not eating anything but paying for a 3-course meal and leaving a tip anyway. Nah dude, it's like going to a fancy restaurant where you spend $200 and they serve 10 really tiny entrees that you don't even get to pick, but they all delicious. Well, maybe only 8 or 9 are delicious, the other 1 or 2 you wonder how they made it on the menu, but none of them actually fill you up and you leave hungry. But it was an enjoyable experience nonetheless. Fancy restaurant, still hungry, enjoyable experience. Yes, because the food tasted good and then you eat a microwaved pizza afterwards. Sir, that is my wife you talking about. You leave hungry. An enjoyable experience, these are mutually exclusive. If you go to the right restaurant you can actually eat the 3-course meal sauce, years in that industry leaving just the tip. If you don't condone either of them, you may be underestimating how simple, easy, or safe it is to simply find a prostitute. Prostitution is also illegal just about everywhere in the US, so the prospect of getting arrested is a substantial deterrent for many. Not that I agree with the following, but the logic for a lot of men in relationships is that the strip club isn't cheating. So, they go get turned on at the strip club then bang their partner with renewed fervor. But if you aren't in a relationship then yeah, it's just a tease emo. At least I'm not the only one who gets nothing out of going to a strip club. I also don't understand why my friend thinks it's cool to show me videos of hot chicks on his phone and shit. What does he expect, me to whip my dick out and start jacking it? Prostitution isn't illegal in the US, so have fun possibly getting busted or scammed trying to pay for pussy. A stripper will probably let you smash, for the right price. Plus, what's wrong with getting loaded and letting a cute bitch grind on your dick? Sounds like a fun night, without hassle. In some places, you have to respect the rules out on the floor, but once you're in the VIP you can go balls deep inside a girl. Clubs that serve alcohol usually aren't full nude, but I've also seen those rules broken before. East St. Louis knows nothing of this rule, not from Oregon I see. Ah, the Acropolis. Cheap, delicious steak with a side of meat curtains. Some signs are only there for the AHJ. Anti-hand job? Not at all. I'm game if you are Smiley from a king no less. Authority having jurisdiction. Is this not a common acronym in the stripper world? Initialism? Come to Tampa. You can touch anywhere but between the legs. I was in Connecticut at a club for a friend's bachelor party. A friend of his ended up fingering a stripper for $200. Seems like a big waste. Come to Tampa. Don't say that, they'll start coming. They'll realize they can live in a major metro area for next to nothing, minutes from great beaches and awesome culture in Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete. Not to mention how high Tampa General ranks for medical care. Don't even get me started about how great Florida's higher education costs ranking are compared to the rest of the country. Did you know that for tech specialties the DICE technology lists Tampa as the second highest salaries when adjusted for cost of living? With all that money you can actually afford to go to Burns Steakhouse, the #1 rated steakhouse in the country. And when you're ready to retire, massive 55+ master planned communities are only a few hours away and hold some records for highest STD transmission rates in the US. This guy Tampa's and home of the hockey team that absolutely choked in the playoffs. If you can touch the breasts, you can touch between the legs, depending on the stripper. The sign, Greg, the sign. I was just speaking from experience. Mostly Valiant DTLA they let you touch, but towards Beverly Hills they get stingier. It's the dancer's choice if management isn't watching everyone on camera, but when one allows it, it ruins business for everyone else. It's a prisoner's dilemma. Whichever authorities monitor this, liquor license board, city policy enforcing ordinances, do not care. So only clubs with good management will protect the girls from being groped or being assumed as prostitutes undercover. The only exception would be casual touch during conversation if the man is paying to continue conversation while the dancer does her thing. Please don't touch the strippers unless they ask you. Sort of like bears at the zoo. At the zoo in 1930. I don't think bears ask for permission before touching people. You clearly haven't met enough bears then, they're very polite really. Valley by the 605? I always see a bunch of strip clubs there. In reality it all comes down to the girl. You can't on paper, but if she sees you're normal, not too drunk and won't get creepy, she'll let you. Everything and anything will depend on how comfortable and entrepreneurial the individual dancer is. Are some clubs better at policing this behavior than others? Yes. Most aren't though. Not true in LV and the ones in TJ. No, that's where you go to see a donkey's asshole. HK baby. Going back in a few weeks. I swear it has ruined strip clubs for me. Or if you want ping pong balls shot at you from various openings, come to Tampa. You're incorrect. Fortunately, you seem very knowledgeable in this subject. When you work 3 jobs and no girlfriend, I like to spend some of my free time in the company of beautiful women. Ouch. Well, I hope you find a girlfriend to work soon then. Me too. How do you find time for 3 jobs? I work 1 job at night 2 AM to 5 AM, and I have 2 other part-time day jobs. I only have 1 day off, that day being Friday. Friday is lube day. Am I right? I'm young. I don't go to school and I'm not very social, so might as well make money. No Australia here. Depends what license they have or state law. I really miss QLD. American strip clubs sound so fucking lame. Yeah, the Vegas strip club I went to was not in a poorer area and I made out with and fingered my stripper. Granted, I spent $3,000 in the course of 8 hours. That isn't really true all the time. A lot of high-end strip clubs let you touch, you just need to pay more. They won't let the normal poor man touch, he can't afford it. Every strip club has plenty of strippers who straight up put your hands on them. Not true. Lol, that's 100% the reverse. Have you ever actually been to a strip club? Another instance of those things on Reddit where you know too damn much about something and know some people love talking with utmost confidence on something they're clueless about. Source: been to every, only, high-end strip club in Vegas for 20+ bachelor parties. Congratulations. American strip club. Some of the worst in the world, no full nudity, and no touching. It's pretty American. In Australia you can touch and the girls will just tell you if any part of her body is off limits. Even the strippers in America are Puritans. Username checks out. Is the name of your strip club the Sailor's Porthole? I'm not sure why people are saying it varies by club. I'm sure some clubs have rules against touching due to state regulations or whatever, but in my experience it varies by stripper rather than club. Just always ask before receiving a lap dance. My first time to a strip club, all the girls made that a part of their routine, so on my second trip, I just kind of went for it thinking that was a normal part of how strip clubs worked. I was still a dumb teenager. I was politely corrected by the dancer in question, but felt like a total jerk about it. Ever since I just ask before the dance starts. You'll find you have your no touching strippers, your sure go ahead strippers, your touch only these designated locations strippers, and your only if you paid double strippers. First time I was at a strip club where you could touch was so uncomfortable. The dancers were half offended that I wasn't touching, grabbing my hands and putting them places, and all I could think was I'm not supposed to do this. You can touch both, cocaine for one, tuna for the other. I think I screwed up, I got thrown out of the club and my house is fucked. Well, that's what happens when you try to grope a cat on cocaine, catnip. It all pales in comparison to ketamine. Cathion, cocat, ha ha ha, that's why I got a cat. Cocaine prices are through the roof. Hey Cobber, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the content.